Hey everybody, this is a video to help the Math 073 students with their project about the algebra tiles and exponent rules. So this is, in this semester, this is our project 3, and I've scrolled down here a ways, I'm on page 7, and this is where they introduce the concept of an algebra tile. And just really quickly, we'll go over everything that's blue here, or green, they're calling, or gray, are positive, and they're using red for negatives, and we can just stick with that convention. But if you look at this box right here, they're going to say this length here of this blue, and the width here is blue, it's a square, it's x length and x width, which makes it x squared. Obviously this could be any size. It could be, we could resize this actually down, because the length is x and the width is x, which means it could be any length. So just so you get the idea that, this is a visual representation of this expression right here, x squared. So x times x is x squared. And this width here we're just going to call 1. So this is x times 1, which is 1x, and since it's red it's negative, so that's why it's negative 1x here. So this is x squared minus x. And what they're going to ask you to do is model a whole bunch of these problems with algebra tiles. And here's another one right here. This is, again, x squared minus x. You're like, well, how do you get that? Well, there's a positive x squared, there's a positive x squared, there's a minus x squared, so these cancel. So really you just end up with positive x squared. These are 3 positive x's, these are 3 negative x's, they cancel. Here's a positive 1, because it's 1 by 1, and this is a negative 1. So these cancel, these cancel, these cancel. So really what you end up with is this. You're like, well, why would you add all this junk? Well, here's the cool thing. If you can make it in the shape of a rectangle, it's factorable. So I'll just show you really quick right here. If we could somehow make whatever we have here into a rectangle, we can take it length times width. For instance, up here, this is length x plus 1. So that's x minus 1, because that's a negative 1. X minus 1 by x. So we could rewrite this. I'll just rewrite it as x parenthesis x minus 1. So that's another way of writing this. See, it's factorable since it is in the shape of a rectangle. So if you can make it with geometry make it into a rectangle, it's factorable. So if we go down here and they want you to start modeling these, obviously you're going to need 2 x squared tiles. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. If you go into your, on Word here, go to Insert and go to Shapes, just pick the rectangle tool right there. And so I'm just going to go ahead and make this one right here. Okay, so there's a box, there's x squared, and I can pick the colors right here. So I'm just going to make it blue. And then I'm just going to hit Control C, copy, and then Control V, paste. There's 2x squared plus x. So now I'm going to make an x tile. So again, I'll go Insert. Oh, I guess I need to do that. But Shapes, rectangle, and I'll make a little 1 by x tile here. And again, I'll make that blue since that's positive. So there's 2x squared plus x. Now I need minus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another shape, rectangle, and I'm just going to make a little one here. And these have to be negative, so I'm going to make that red. And I'm just going to copy, Control C, Control V, Control V, there. So there is my 2x squared plus x minus 3. And then you're supposed to subtract all these things, so I can distribute that negative. That's a negative x squared. So if I just click that and hit copy and paste, but I want to change the color, right? So I just click red. There. So there's a negative x squared. And I can put that down a little bit. And so you kind of get the idea that negative 3x, so there I can copy that. And I'm going to go Control V, Control V, Control V. I guess I'll hit undo. Let's do 1 and make it red. There we go. There is a negative x. I'm going to make it red. Now I'm going to copy that and paste. There we go. There's negative 3x. And then plus 2. So then I can just do that. Copy, paste, I'll make that. So it's going to be a minus as well, because that distributes the negative. Make these line up a little better here. Oops. It's not perfect. Word's not awesome at this, but there we go. And I'm going to paste it again. There's my minus 2. So there we go. So there is our negative x squared minus 3x minus 2. So if we add these together, you can think of it like this way. This cancels with this. Those would cancel each other out. This would cancel out. And so what we'd have left, if you did that, would just be a positive x squared, negative 2x, and then minus 5. So you can kind of look at it graphically, how, or geometrically, how that would look. So I think that gives you a good start here. So you should be able to model all these with algebra tiles, and you can make pictures of them. So I think that's about it. So just draw your algebra tiles there, and make a picture of all these things. And again, if you can make it into a rectangle, it is factorable. So I don't know if we got one down here. Yeah, like this one right here. So this is an example where this is x, and they're making negatives be this purple color, but you can make yours red, like to keep it consistent if you want. But you can see this is x minus 1 times x plus 2, and if you multiply those out, you get x squared, and this would be plus 2x and a minus x, so really those would cancel to give you x squared plus x minus 2. But that really looks like this, x plus 2 times x minus 1, and there it is. So hope that helps you with this project, and you know, like always, contact me if you have any questions, but hopefully you can get through all the project now by doing all these algebra tiles. So like this one would be length x, and then 1 1 1, and then this would be x 1 1, and then you just got to make sure you fill it in to make it a rectangle like this. So hope that helps, and I'll post this on YouTube.